Midday on a snow-covered mountainside, we drive the Ford F-150 Raptor across ice-hard snow, the same terrain wild hogs exploit to outrun humans. Today isn't just a hunt. It's a mission to protect young crops and dairy farms below the valley. This winter, farmers reported tens of thousands lost to hogs digging roots and tearing through wet soil. The hunt begins with the familiar question: can our tactics outpace the survival instincts of North America's most relentless pests? At the forest edge, a lone hog suddenly crosses the trail, leaving deep prints in the compacted snow from its nearly 100 kilograms weight. Lone hogs are more dangerous than herds. They're bolder and act purely on survival instinct, not formation. In the US, we call these rogue boars, the worst farm destroyers, breaking fences and attacking livestock. We keep our distance, careful not to provoke them. The team shifts quietly, setting up a forward intercept line before finishing the hunt. A few hundred meters in, a hog charges straight down from the ridge above. These moments are extremely dangerous. Wild hogs can change direction in 0.2 seconds, creating a blind corner zone hunters always respect. We don't chase, we hold our blocking positions below, leaving space to control its path. In seconds, the hog must choose: continue the run or change course. Patience keeps the team safe and ensures a clean takedown. No sooner is the second hog down than another appears. This one moves slowly, cautiously. Time for reading the silence. When the forest falls eerily quiet, even the sound of falling snow becomes audible, signaling the herd is shifting or observing. The team crouches silent. The moment the hog steps into the crosshair, our ambush is ready, and the shot drops it instantly. Near the forest edge, a smaller hog approaches our bait. Here, bait psychology comes into play. Wild hogs often send a smaller scout first, like a storm bird, to test for danger before the herd commits. The prey bolts forward, forcing hunters to react instantly. One precise shot stops its rampage and protects the farm. After clearing the immediate threats, we move out of the dense snow forest. Another hog threads through the tangled brush, using terrain to its advantage. We apply the US pressure line, tactic, slow, steady pressure to push the hog into open ground without letting it escape sideways. Silent teamwork rules here, no words, but everyone moves in perfect sync. A sharp shot echoes. No escape. After nearly an hour, the team is fatigued but maintains formation. Suddenly, a large hog charges straight at us, snow spraying behind it. We apply the 3-second, 3-step, 3-direction safety principle used by professional wildlife control teams in the US. We split lightly to either side, keeping 3 escape routes open. The moment lasts only seconds, but it's enough to control the situation without chaos. The entire operation follows local wild hog control laws, prioritizing farm protection and ecological boundaries, not body counts. Thick snow, icy winds, and unpredictable hog behavior make every moment high pressure, but that's why we respect this work.
Last night, the farmland of old Mr. Thomas was torn apart, ripped up by a rampaging herd of wild boars. Once word reached us, the team geared up again. This wasn't just a sport. This was a mission of justice to protect livelihoods, safeguard crops, and ensure the safety of our people. We strapped in with unwavering resolve and a burning desire to restore order. The village gates closed behind us as we stepped into the dark forest, where survival and savagery were about to collide. We moved silently into the damp heart of the forest, keeping safe distance from one another. The moment we spotted fresh tracks, the hounds were unleashed. They dashed through the marshy ground, barking louder by the second. They had locked on. I was already in position, waiting in a strategic clearing. As the first boar burst through the brush like a freight train, I fired. The shot rang out, precise and final. The first threat was neutralized. One by one, the rest fell to the experienced hands of our marksmen. No room for error, no second chances. After the first kill, I climbed to a small rise to gain a better view. That's when I saw it, a massive boar moving in fast. I steadied my rifle, took a breath, and squeezed the trigger. The beast collapsed mid-charge and rolled down the slope. Seconds later, another was down, brought down by clean shooting. In the field, speed, composure, and calculated moves are what let us outmaneuver even the most vicious game, and protect the people depending on us. Just then, from the east, Jack picked up heavy footfalls through the underbrush. He froze, listening. It was close. In an instant, a boar lunged out of the bushes. Jack reacted on pure instinct. One precise shot, and the threat was over before it began. We were regrouping when the GPS unit began to alert non-stop. An entire herd had surfaced, right in our path. This was it, our only chance to stop the threat entirely. I opened fire. Rapid, accurate. The sounds of gunfire echoed across the trees as chaos exploded. The herd scattered in panic. When the dust settled, several were hit. One dropped immediately. Our ambush worked. One major threat gone. One of our lead hounds stopped dead, sniffed the air, and let out a sharp bark. It had caught a fresh scent. Jack scanned the thicket. Movement. He didn't wait. One swift shot. Another threat gone. Every bullet counted. Every action pushed us closer to securing the land for the farmers who relied on it. As the sky began to drizzle and darkness crept in, we decided to head back. But on the way out, I caught a glimpse, faint but familiar, a massive boar. In the falling rain, I raised my rifle, calm and controlled. The shot cracked through the storm. The beast collapsed where it stood. In the harsh, freezing lands of Turkey, wild boars don't just survive, they thrive. Thanks to their thick layers of fat and dense fur that fiercely defend them against the bone-chilling cold. Despite the bitter weather, they keep moving relentlessly, foraging for food and leaving a trail of destruction wherever they roam. To stop this nightmare, we moved in immediately, armed with determination and unyielding will. Are you ready? Let's get started. After days of freezing cold, today, the clear sky opened a golden opportunity for a challenging hunt. Without hesitation, we quickly packed our gear, ready to face whatever dangers lay ahead. As soon as we arrived, the team scattered, tracking the wild boar's trail. Soon enough, the baying of hunting dogs picking up the scent echoed through the air. We hurried toward the spot. When the beast came into sight, the bullet flew, dead on target. That ended a tense chase. The animal weighed in at 200 kilograms, a true wrecking machine. It's hard to imagine what this place would look like under the claws of such a fierce predator. Just a few hundred meters away, Leon's team arrived at their position and quickly spotted the target. They swiftly chose the right spot and angle, adjusting their scopes toward the prey. A sharp gunshot echoed through the cold air. Despite its desperate attempt to escape, the beast fell right there. Cheers erupted, a celebration of a quick, precise shot. We couldn't stay still, constantly moving, every step aimed at increasing our chances of spotting the prey. The gunshots echoed, spooking them into a quick retreat. Without hesitation, I adjusted my scope and squeezed the trigger. That precise shot made controlling the hunt faster and more effective than ever. The temperature kept dropping, snow falling heavier, but no more targets appeared. We decided to head back, carrying with us the hard-earned success of the day. Next day, we boldly ventured into the neighboring forest. This time, without the aid of hunting dogs. Every sense was on high alert. From keen observation to detecting scents and sounds. That's how we spotted our next target. As its silhouette slowly came into view, I knew I had only one shot. Not letting it escape, I pulled the trigger immediately. Another perfect shot, adding a fresh victory to the tally. Pressing deeper into the heart of the forest, my eyes stayed sharp, scanning every movement without missing a beat. When an unusual sound and a strong scent approached, I immediately prepared for whatever might come. Suddenly, the wild boar herd charged through. Despite my quick shot, I only managed to bring down one. Their speed was incredible. They escaped the rest of the barrage. Wasting no time, I quickly alerted Leon to intercept the wild boars that had just fled. Just as expected, Leon swiftly took down the target with a series of precise shots, successfully cutting off the escape route of these beasts. The gunfire echoed, not only as the end of the chase, but as the sound of liberation, freedom from the destruction these wild boars leave in their wake each time they appear. The battle is over, and the freezing cold couldn't stop our resolve. On the way back, we were all exhausted, but relieved. The threat had at least quieted for now. The wild boars are still out there, and we'll be back.
Cunning beasts, with their sharp intelligence and razor-like hooves, ravage crops and instill terror among farmers. Fearless hunters, undeterred by harsh weather, stand ready to confront them and protect the community. Thrilling chases and spectacular ambushes are about to unfold, revealing the outcome. Don't hesitate. Join us now to witness and pick the most epic hunt. Hunting wild boar in harsh, snowy conditions. Seemingly impossible, but for John's hunting team, nothing is out of reach. The team ventured into the snowy mountains of Turkey in their trusty vehicle. Upon arrival, they swiftly deployed into formation, moving to pre-planned ambush points. Not long after, on the eastern side of the range, a familiar dark shape darted across Finn's line of sight. Tracking the wild boar's movement, he pulled the trigger. The gunshot rang out decisively, and the boar collapsed, lying motionless on the white snow. At another spot, a team member spotted a dark figure weaving through dense branches. The wild boar was completely unaware it was in the hunter's crosshairs. As soon as its body emerged from the thick underbrush, rapid gunshots rang out, cutting off all escape routes. Before it could comprehend what was happening, it lay still on the snowy ground. The pursuit pressed on, with John quietly tracking faint hoof prints etched in the white snow.
You can see the two.
Suddenly, a wild boar emerged, cunningly concealed in a hollow among dense bushes. Without hesitation, John swiftly closed in, gripping his rifle firmly. A decisive gunshot rang out, and the beast collapsed on the spot, unable to resist. Another threat eliminated, the hunt surged toward its climax. The barking of hunting dogs echoed across the distant forest, and Finn immediately bolted toward the familiar sound. Within minutes, he arrived, facing a wild boar cornered by the pack, frantically seeking an escape. Without hesitation, a shot struck the boar's body, halting its desperate bid for freedom. Another mark was etched into the snowy mountains, cold, brutal, and fiercely intense. A tense ambush was unfolding in a garden in France, where the beasts were ravaging crops. Another hunting team had arrived, setting up a tight encirclement around the garden. Just minutes after taking position, two wild boars suddenly charged past Nick and his teammates. A rapid volley of shots rang out. The larger, heftier boar dropped instantly. While the others swiftly escaped into the adjacent field in a split second. Determined not to let the wild boar escape, Nick immediately signaled through the radio, pinpointing its direction for his teammates. On the other side, a marksman stood ready, firmly gripping the rifle. As predicted, the boar appeared. A rapid burst of gunfire erupted, crushing any hope of its escape. The cunning beasts were subdued, and the garden was temporarily safe from danger today.
In many vast agricultural regions across the US, especially in states like Texas and Florida, wild boars cause billions of dollars in damage. With their rapid reproduction and herd behavior, they devastate crops, uproot soil, pollute water sources, and even attack livestock. Today, our team set out at dawn. Pickup trucks rolled forward, carrying experienced hunters and advanced equipment. Our mission? To enter the hardest hit areas and stop the spread before the new growing season begins. At the break of dawn, we arrived at the first hotspot. The biting cold of a Texas winter seemed to freeze everything in place. In an environment like this, every sense must be pushed to the limit. Any trace in the snow is a clue, and any movement could be a target. The morning mist turned the snow-covered dry forest into a deadly arena. When the wild boar appeared, time seemed to freeze. I squeezed the trigger. The bullet struck like a powerful lightning bolt, taking down the target in an instant, restoring peace to this land. Looks like today's start is off to a smooth run, folks. While I got off to a smooth start, on another front, my teammate faced his own challenge. John was assigned to guard outside the edge of the forest. The world was silent behind his noise-canceling headphones, with only the cold rifle stock in his hands. Suddenly, a wild boar tore through the distant forest edge, charging straight at him like a rocket. John focused all his fear into a single aim, and boom! The beast collapsed onto the snowy ground with only a few steps between them. He let out a sigh of relief. Peace had returned. For the sake of the crop's safety, David braved the freezing cold, tracking the destructive beast's trail along the icy hillside. Suddenly, it poked its head out from the bushes. When their eyes met, it panicked and bolted, but it was too late. A gunshot echoed, ending it all in the blink of an eye. One shot fired to keep the harvest from ruin. We ventured deeper into the dense forest. Here, the game completely changed. Visibility was blocked by countless tree trunks, and every bush, every shadow could be hiding an enemy. We had to move slowly, weaving around each tree root, straining our eyes and ears to catch even the slightest movement. Through the scope, a massive wild boar lumbered into our guarded zone. It wisely paused behind a tree trunk, listening carefully. I exhaled slowly, knowing this was a one-shot chance. Now or never. A decisive bullet struck its fatal spot, taking it down instantly. Mission accomplished. A copper candy flies away, bringing peace back to the village. What do you guys think? Was that shot worthy of a masterpiece? Our mission isn't just to guard one area, but to actively track down lone individuals threatening to enter residential zones. Thomas weaved through dry tree trunks, eyes scanning alertly. There it is! A solitary wild boar on the move. We're not getting any further. His heart raced as he locked it into his sights, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Bang! The threat was stopped cold, far from the village. One shot fired deep in the wild, keeping the community safe. Evening had fallen, the cold seeping into my bones after a long day of relentless pursuit. On the way back, I suddenly froze. There stood a hefty wild boar, head down, completely unaware. The perfect final prize of the day. A deadly shot rang out, ending a hunt that couldn't have gone any better. The sun had fully set as we headed back in the Tesla electric truck, closing out a long but meaningful day of battle. From the first shots fired in the biting cold of dawn, to the tense maneuvers in the dense forest by afternoon, It was all for one common goal: protecting the peace of the village. We are grateful for the close coordination of our team, local authorities, and the farmers, those who have stood shoulder to shoulder with us on this journey. Thousands of hectares of farmland in Bulgaria are being ravaged by wild boars, causing millions of dollars in damage. Crops are destroyed, livelihoods are shaken, and fear is spreading fast across the region. In the bone-chilling cold, Finn and his hunting team push deep into the frozen forest where every step forward could mean life or death. Will they manage to take the shot before the beast vanishes into the wilderness? Get ready for the most intense, heart-pounding moments of this wild boar hunt. Morning light pierces through the thick blanket of snow covering the forests of Bulgaria. Finn's hunting team moves in silence, every step carefully calculated. The air is tight with tension, every sense locked in. Suddenly, the hounds break the silence. The prey has been found. Finn wastes no time, moving swiftly toward the signal. Through the scope, the wild boar comes into full view. Calm and focused, he lines up the shot. Squeeze! The gun cracks through the cold air. The boar stumbles, takes a few shaky steps, then collapses into the snow. A flawless takedown thanks to perfect teamwork with the dogs. In a hunt like this, support isn't optional, it's everything. Wasting no time, the team pushes deeper into the forest. Every step is steady, nothing escapes their watchful eyes. Suddenly, a dark blur flashes across their line of sight. A single gunshot cracks the silence. Fast, clean, and deadly accurate. The boar drops on the spot. In that split second, Finn showcases unmatched precision, flawless instincts, perfect execution. As the last light of day fades and the temperature drops sharply, the hunting team quietly begins to pull back toward the rendezvous point, believing the chase is over. But then, Finn's sharp eyes catch a subtle movement in the distance. He crouches low, steady hands on the trigger. A single shot rings out. The boar drops silently. No thrashing, no sound, just stillness. Another sliver of peace restored to this land. Quiet but relentless. The snow had begun to melt after days of eerie stillness, revealing the cold, damp earth beneath. On the western hillside, Finn's team moved in silently, taking up their planned positions. 10 minutes passed. Finn remained razor-focused, eyes locked onto every twitch, every flicker of movement. Then, just beyond the trees, a dark figure slipped into view. Instinct took over.
His finger squeezed the trigger with precision. The dry crack of the rifle shattered the silence. The boar collapsed instantly, never even knowing what hit it. It paid the price for the ruined crops and the chaos it brought to this land. His eyes locked onto a group of wild boars quietly concealed in the underbrush. With lightning-fast reflexes and zero hesitation, he adjusted his rifle, took aim, and squeezed the trigger. One boar dropped instantly, the rest scattered in a frenzy. Without missing a beat, Finn signaled his team a new wave of the hunt was already underway. Moments later, the hounds let out a sharp cry. The target had been spotted. James surged forward, eyes locked with unwavering focus. The critical moment arrived in a flash. One clean, decisive shot, dead on target. Almost simultaneously, signals lit up from other positions. One after another, shots rang out, silencing the danger for good. The battle ended as quickly as it began, restoring peace to the land. For now, the people could rest easy, at least this time. This hunt has come to an end. The destroyers of the harvest have finally been stopped. Victory didn't belong to the brave marksmen alone, but was the result of seamless coordination between local farmers, authorities, and the unshakable brotherhood within our team. Once again, the hunters spoke up at the right moment, and this time, they came out on top. We sincerely thank the local community and authorities for their unwavering support, trust, and partnership throughout this journey.